Hey there, fellow YouTubers. Thank you for stopping by. If this is a return visit for you to my channel, I really appreciate that because that just means that you enjoy viewing what I enjoy making. So have a seat and enjoy the video. So here I am on a beautiful sunshiny day outside working off of the tailgate of my Dodge Laramie. Unfortunately, I do not have a garage and I do not have a workshop or a she shed, or as my girlfriend calls it, a bitch barn, because apparently it's bigger than a she shed, which she says I need. So, yeah, unfortunate, but it's in the position I am right now, and I'll just have to earn my way to a she shed or bitch barn. So here I am outside working on my tailgate. I'm using my Cobalt compound miter saw. These are 1x6 pine boards. I measured ahead of time to see how long I wanted these Farmhouse boxes, Centerpiece boxes. So I decided to go with 18 inches for the bottom and the two side pieces and 7 inches on the ends. So once I was done outside cutting all the pieces I needed, I came back in and took my little sanding block and knocked down just the little tiny pieces that were left there, just so that I'd have a good joint when I glued and brad nailed them together. You know, it didn't take much. There wasn't much rough edge. All right, then it was on to assembling the centerpiece. So I used some tight bond glue and ran a bead of it down the side of the bottom 1x6 and made sure that the side piece was flush, and used my Makita pneumatic brad nailer with some, I believe these are just 1-inch brad nails. Turned it over, bead of glue on the other side, and did the same, just making sure that all of the ends and the bottom were flush. And again, you know what? I am not even going to edit that out, because what is a perfect video, right? We all have little things that happen to us while we're building. So anyway, I'm sorry it's out of frame, but this is me brad nailing the end pieces on, and I just ensured that there was a bead of glue along the edges, the ends of the edges of the long pieces, as well as the bottom board. And then again, just made sure that everything was flush on all sides before nailing it in. If you do not know what Durham's water putty is, it's about time you learn. And so I'm telling you right now, it is so amazing. It doesn't require a whole bunch of water to get it to a consistency that you need to fill your nail holes, or any cracks you might have in the wood that you want to fill. The greatest part about this stuff is that it dries super quickly, so that you have the ability to sand it down right away. And so I just fill all my nail holes with it. I like my stuff to look rustic, so I don't care if there are cracks or you know, maybe parts of the wood didn't become as flush as you would like them. I kind of like the rustic look. Anyway, here I am finding center on the long edge of the box. so that I know where to place my home molded appliques. That will be something for a whole nother video. Here is me using my speed square to just kind of draw a line from top to bottom so I know how to line up that center on both the bottom and the top of that middle applique. That center applique that you see is actually water putty. I wanted to see if I could use it, and it's doable. However, you have to have it at a decent consistency and not too runny. What I noticed that if I do use the water putty for the appliques and it's too runny, it is a lot more fragile than the plaster of Paris version, which is the 2 side pieces I used. So anyway, it can be done with both. You just have to be careful in how you mix the solution, so, or how you mix the putty or the plaster. So here I am just trying to figure out how I like it the best, and then to press down with not too much pressure because you don't want to create a tension to where it cracks right down the center of it. Although I guess that would just make it look even more rustic and antique-y like, but I'm hoping that the antique wax will do that for me. All right, so here I'm measuring just to make sure that it's a good distance from all the edges, and yeah. Again, trying to be careful that I do not cause any of the appliques to break. And I almost forgot to video this part, so thank goodness I realized my mistake and started videoing. Here I'm using just a cutting of an old sock that was going to get thrown away to stain the entire piece with, even on top of the applique. I believe this is Kona colored stain. I wanted it to be fairly dark so that it kind of popped through when I distressed it later. And so once I got all of it stained, I actually ended up using a piece of paper towel, as you see here, just to kind of wipe any of the excess and uneven areas off. So then once that was completely dry, I went ahead and painted over the top of the entire box, paying close attention to all of the crevices within the applique, around the edges of the applique. I did 2 layers of paint actually, and I did, this is a color, this is a Clark & Kensington, I believe it is called Cottage White. I just got a sample at my local hardware store and I really liked it. So I just painted the entire thing. Again, I said 2 coats of it. So I completely forgot to videotape me antiquing the actual box that you see in this video. However, this is me antiquing or putting antique wax on a very similar one. This applique that you see me doing it on right here in the center of this one is the same exact one from my other. This is just a this one is painted in a gray, and so I ended up putting a lot of the dark black antiquing wax on it because I really wanted it to have an aged rustic look and not just on the edges. However, on the one that I did in this video, I only did the appliques as well as the edges, and that was it. And then I used a clear wax on the original one, the cream colored box. So here is that cream colored box and what it looked like after I antiqued it the way that I did. Here is a view of the handles that I purchased for this piece from Hobby Lobby. And I will try to link to all of the items that I used. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button and share this video with your friends if you found it helpful. I really hope you stop back by again for future videos. Have a great day.